Yes, I did. And if you know what I'm talking about, then great. But if you don't, then let me explain. By the way, I'm doing a voiceover, so I'll be voicing over this Bed Wars game. So, Young Voices is a grand scheme where they invite students from thousands of different schools all across England and come to perform at the O2 Arena. And it was actually really fun. So there were a few scuffed rehearsals at my school. We didn't really have like a solid, complete practice because the only time we did, I had an English test that I couldn't miss. So half the time I was standing there without even knowing the lyrics, so I had to pull them up on my phone. But there were a few things that we had to have while we were performing. First, we had to have a white shirt. This is when my school began to, well, be the school this channel's based around, a not good school. Basically, my sister, who goes to a separate school, and her school is also going to Young Voices. But unlike my school, they supplied my mum with everything. The white shirt, and we also needed a light, which my sister's school also supplied. My school supplied absolutely nothing to my parents. So my parents first were waiting for an email from my school about purchases, which never came. So they ordered straight from the website, which came in time. But it got lost the day before. Luckily, my mom managed to find it. The light, I wasn't too worried, and when we got to the actual concert, it was all good because they gave us it. But I lost mine during the concert, so I shared with the person next to me. Then came the actual day of the concert, and it sounds hectic, but it's really not. We would have first two lessons, then we would leave. One of those two lessons just happened to be PE, physical education. Even though I was happy that I wouldn't miss it, because usually I would miss it when I go out for trips, it posed a problem because I would have to carry my PE bag to the O2 because we weren't leaving any bags behind. At least that's what I thought. They told me that I could leave in school, and I said I would, but I forgot that, so I just took it along. It ended up not being too bad, actually. So we got on a coach, which was one of the good things we were supplied because my sister's school they had to take the train, and but unfortunately we weren't allowed to eat anything on the coach, which now looking at it makes sense because the coach had to be clean because I had to pick up other schools. But I was getting really hungry. So as we got off, we were a bit early, so we managed to find a place to sit and eat. So we were just eating, and there wasn't a lot to say that happened. We just watched the cable cars because we were sitting right under or near or near a cable car railway railway a railway that went across the River Thames and back. And so while we were doing it, one of my friends in my year who came along, there were two, one of them wanted to pose for pictures because he just did. And while the second one coming from my year, he went with him to take the picture. And I'm not sure whether you I'm not sure whether you understand me when I'm talking about this, but posers and TikTokers from the outside when they're doing it, they look so weird. And this was no different to what happened while they were posing. It looked very weird. And so the next one I have to provide backstory. I'm performing a musical for my school, and subscribe if you want a commentary on that. So you have to subscribe. And so my music teachers were formulating some of the dance moves. The dance moves were very simple, nothing too special. So I was just looking at it, and yeah. Eventually, we proceeded to the Millennium Dome. As we got there, a couple of year 8s began telling me some dark jokes. I may or may not have joined in because I knew a few from YouTube, but I won't tell you in case I get cancelled. Eventually, we got to the entrance. I had been there twice before for Disney on Ice, which is basically a show where they feature some Disney movies, not all of them, just like a small part of it, on while the actors are basically on an ice rink. So it wasn't really new to me, but some other people hadn't been there, so they were quite impressed at least. And I hope this isn't only me, but apart from Minecraft, I play Pokemon Go, which is like the only other game I play. And the O2 is one of the best places to catch Pokemon. There are Pokestops and it was a gym as well. So you could get plenty of stuff and fight raids. So, and we were hearing cheering. I wasn't too sure until we saw what it was about. So basically, a guy was asking us to go crazy for the camera. And the reason why is because, so you know when you see these people shouting and cheering in front of the camera? Yeah, usually somebody asks them to go like it, so it's very rarely just captured suddenly in the moment. So he asked us to go crazy, or it might have been waving, I really don't remember. But I do remember that he said it would go on the official Young Voices video, and it actually did. So if you can find which Young Voices video it is, you could find where I am and possibly which school I'm in, or what my face looks like. I'll just say that it was the Young Voices coverage for Wednesday, I believe, the 17th. I won't tell you just to be sure because I don't want like my school to be revealed or what I look like. Anyway, we got in, we found our seats. We had a perfect side view of the stage, but we couldn't really see their faces. Which is the funny thing is, my sister's school told my mom to bring binoculars just in case so they could see. But I feel like I should have gotten them because then I would actually be able to see their faces. We got introduced to the conductor and the team and everything. And then we got started with the rehearsal. And there were also several famous people that were going to perform on the stage. There was a famous violinist, her name was Anna Phoebe, and there was a singer called Heather Small, who is also really good and sung like a few really good songs. Now, they were really good, but the other two were groups and they are on another level. One was a dance group called the Urban Striders. They were like young people who dance and basically inspire people to dance as well. Search them up. The second was my favorite and my most impressed, the Beatbox Collective, known as the Human Wall of Sound. They were top beatboxers in the UK and they make crazy sounds that shouldn't come out of a human. And trust me, just search them up and find how the sounds they create. It's gonna be pretty crazy. So, one of the Urban Striders who was helping us with our dances, they told us that we could get an Urban Strider in our school, and if our teachers went onto the website and sent an email on it. Our teachers did it. I saw her, so fingers crossed that one actually comes. I will hopefully one day make a commentary on that as well. So, after doing one single rehearsal for 3 hours, can I just say, it went surprisingly smooth, and so did the actual performance. Now, we had a 2-hour gap before the actual performance. Now, in that, like, a decent amount of stuff happened. Well, it depends really on how you look at it. First, we had to get changed. since we had to come in our school uniform. There's like a sector between primary and secondary school. Primary, you can come in your like thing you're going out, but with secondary, you have to come in your school uniform, blah blah blah, then change that. So my sister, who was doing it, she's in primary school, and her school allowed them to just come in the Young Voices shirt. So, and then, so one of the person who wanted to post the pictures earlier, his mum arrived like kind of early compared to the other people, and so he was like waving the flag to get his mum's attention, which was kind of annoying. I'm heavily introverted, so I don't like to draw attention to myself. Now, as I mentioned before, my sister's also doing the Young Voices, but she is doing it the day after me. But my parents, they didn't know that. So they only knew like a few days before. So they had to scramble for tickets. And in the end, only my dad ended up coming because my sister's not good by herself. And so I didn't really mind who came, just that one person came. I also found out that a lot more people than I thought play Pokemon, so it isn't just me. So I friended them, then we fought a raid, since there was like a special raid hour where like a bunch of Regice were in raids. And can I say, we got completely hammered. There were 3 of us, and we all got like proper hammered. We stood no chance. We depleted like maybe 20-30% of its health, nowhere near 50. Anyway, the concert had started, and there isn't really a lot to say about the concert itself, just that we found that it was really fun. Just some of the lyrics I didn't know, but the dance moves was really nice. And so after the concert, we had to wait to be released, and our teacher said it could either take really short or really long, maybe even up to 30 minutes. And we walked out to waited to get a coach. And remember one of the year 8s that were telling me dark jokes? He had a sprained ankle, so he was on crutches. So he was having some modern day slavery, which isn't something to joke about, but I'm sorry. And so his classmate to carry the bag, which he was complaining all the way through. And while we were waiting, we had some street entertainment, not to be confused with like just people on the side of the road. One of the people who was directing like people on where to go, the vehicles and where to go, he sang a song from the old Oliver Twist movie. I'm not sure whether you've watched it. I've watched it, though it's really old. I only know it because my school did a play on it when I was like 8 years old, and I'm talking about my primary school. And also, we watched the movie when I was at a sleepover, but nobody else knew it really. Which is the thing about me. I know a lot of 80s songs, but not a lot of current ones. When Heather Small sang, she sang Moving On Up, a song which nobody knew except me and the teachers. So there was evidence one, and again with the Oliver Twist song, only the teachers and me knew the song. Finally, we got a coach and we went back. On the way back, we chatted about what songs they did. They also did Toccata and Fugue, and if you don't know about it, learn music. But it basically goes da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, na. You should hopefully know what it is now, but just search it up. You should get it. And I educated my teacher in some Indian Bollywood music since I come from India, and I wanted to ask her how much she did know, and she said she knew really nothing, so I told her a bit about it. And that's basically it. Overall, it was a great trip. I hope that if you get the chance to go to Young Voices, you definitely should accept. And the thing is, I'm only just realizing how much I forgot to treasure. And I'm not just saying it out of emotion to get like the sadistic emotion. I actually mean it that I feel like if I get the chance to take it again, I definitely will take it because some of the songs are really fun to sing. But anyway, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye.